I don't really believe in that. But what's y'all thoughts on the subject there, players?
It's something that you don't turn the other cheek on. I'm still, we come from the same bloodline, so I still believe in an eye for an eye. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, shit, you do my brother shit, I'm doing you and yours. I mean, it's just that simple. Come on, bro. This woman shot this man center mass in his chest. She meant to kill this man.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no accidental shooting, none of that. Center mass, that's damn near, you might well call it execution.
Mm-hmm.
You might well call it execution. She meant to kill this boy on purpose. He got a red mat in front of his door. You know damn well you ain't have no red mat in front of your door. You knew that wasn't your house in the first place.
You know what? A lot of that she said threw me off too. How you get confused by what apartment you in? I'm like, in my days of drinking.
How you get confused about your house, period?
That's what I'm saying. In my days of when I used to get,
Ain't no on this planet gonna get confused about where their house is. I don't care what you say. She shot that man, sent him mad. She meant to kill that man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, she meant to kill him.
Wasn't no accident, wasn't no nothing. I told somebody one time before, man, it's a lot of people walking around in the world that people don't realize, especially cops. Because, you have to think, some people be cops for different reasons, and they join to be cops. And there's very few of them that join to just do that, I want to help the community type of mentality. Some people just want to kill somebody. I mean, it's like they call it something in the military. In fact, I'm sure Smoke, I know what I'm talking about. That some people are just, they're in it because they anxious to see what it feels like to kill somebody. You have a lot of people like that. And you got people like that in law enforcement. They're just anchoring and waiting on the opportunity to be able to see what it feels like and get away with it.
Speak up a little bit on the military ordeal. The military, you're basically trained during basic training, because everybody doesn't come there with the heart to kill. You're more focused on what your job is going to be, in the end game. But at the same time, those skills have to be taught to you in case you're ever deployed or you're in a foreign place. You don't punk out, but there is a thin line. Some people have what's called PTSD, where they reflect to, what they know how to do, So I want to say that first. Secondly, I think as black people, our community does way too little to demand things that are righteous. We'll stand up for foolery, and when it comes time to speak out against something that's not righteous, we don't do it. We don't take a stand. Somebody could step on your shoe at Battle of the Bands, if they even still had it, or at the fair, and the next thing you know, 2 people gunned down and dead. But yeah, here we are today. We have judges that are making decisions that they know are against the law. They can't even justify why they let somebody have such a light sentence. I'm with Mike. Center mass does not equivalent sleepy. My key fitting your door does not equivalent sleepy. If that key was the wrong key, why did the people who own the apartments not get any flack for her having the key to another man's door? At the same time, we in the South. Now think about this. In the South, Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama are basically the Bible thumper states, and they're also the slave states, formidably. In addition to that, we are the most obedient people when it comes to outside races doing things to us that are horrible. We'll bow down and we'll accept what they did and chalk it up, instead of fighting for it. Now, if that gentleman that got killed would have been a member of the Arab Empire, do you all believe, just a simple yes or no answer, do you all believe that his kind would have let that lady make it?
Hell no.
Nah, well, nobody else can is.
We can go to a store. We can go to a store, and if a white person looks at our child, not me and not y'all, but just in general, if a white person looks at a little black child that's acting up in the store, that child automatically conforms. But at the same time, if a black person tell them something, tie your shoe, stop acting bad, the first thing they tell you is, you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy, you know. So we got trouble within, you know, because if a white person go and say something to a Chinese kid, they going to look at them like they straight crazy. They not doing nothing they say because they recognize the difference. And they have no reason to be obedient to something they don't recognize, you know. And we are way too forgiving and way too obedient, you know, to something that is basically putting us in a Holocaust position. You know, that's what stand we coming from. We facing a Holocaust position. When they get to the point where they can execute these 1/3 of a human beings, don't forget about that. We're still 1/3 human beings according to the law in this country. We're still 1/3 of a human. That means that the other 2/3 is regarded as an animal. When a black person shoots a black person, they only gonna get 5 years tops, depending on who they pissed off. A white person kills a black person, you'll never hear nothing about it again. What happened to the white kid that went into the church and killed all those people up north? Ain't never heard nothing else about it. What happened to the black dude and his son that got in the trunk and started killing people? You heard they sentenced all the way to the end. They followed them all the way to the federal penitentiary. They won't never see the light of day again for what they did. And that's to scare the rest of us and set the example the same way they did in slavery days. They took one person and made a good example out of them. And it scared the rest of us so bad we dare not contest. And it's gotten to the point now where anything can happen to us. And it's so crazy to me because being from up north, I can tell you now, when something happens to a black person there, out of whack, like the dude Eric Garner, they protested there. What's going on in Dallas right now? Nothing. And that's a southern state where racial tensions are high.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that being said, we got a long way to go. It's almost as if our ancestors and the people before us did what they did for nothing, because we don't pay it attention no more. We too busy buying gym shoes that cost $200 and rims that cost more money than we done had in our pocket all year. We too busy with that to notice how many was being knocked off, how many disappeared. What about the kid that was missing his organs when his mother found his body? We ain't saying nothing about that.
No, ain't nobody talked about that yet. All right. We can go even farther back than that. Let's go all the way back to slavery itself. What was the one book the white man put in your face in the first place?
You already know.
And every time he said it about, he said, you do this and do that, God wrath is going to strike you down. If you don't do this, the devil, you're going to hell. But yet the white man, instead of hanging and lynching and killing your ass, and you foolish enough to sit here and read this mug and turn it the other cheek and all that. Name me one other race other than the black race that has not fought back oppression.
And I really can't say black race. Hold on. I really won't say black race because there we have the Haitian Revolution. Even though they were a small place, they dare not let somebody come and take them. They would have rather died. And the problem with us now, black
United States, though.
Right, but understand, let's not say the black race because the black race is all over the world. When we talk about
we're gonna say Black America. We're gonna say Black
right.
America.
When we talk about Black America, the thing is with us, we're afraid of death. We're afraid of it. We're scared to die for what we believe in. We're scared. And for those of us who not scared, you know, to be honest with you, they walking in truth. They walking in their truth and they live in their truth. They're afraid to die. What a person chooses to die for, that's up to them. You know, you don't want to have to die, but at some point you have to choose what you would give your life for. Just like the civil rights era. People chose what they was willing to give their life for. Unfortunately, we wasting it. wasting it. As many of us as it is, we don't vote, we don't rally, we don't organize, we don't do any of the things that other political parties who don't like us do.
To be honest, I'm not gonna say that. I think it's more of a unity thing. Everybody kind of for themselves. They not really being in conformity. They more of I'm for me than they are I'm from us. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. When I say we don't do the things that we should be doing together, we don't do it.
I think that's more or less, if you want to put it in a nutshell, what's going on is that people feel like if it's not either my community directly, like, you know, my community as far as my city, or as far as, you know, the people that I actually will know, they don't feel like they should be involved in it. They just don't feel like they're doing the outreach to do nothing to be involved in it. Now, I'm going to tell you this, though. It more or less, like, I had to explain this to somebody, that the judge does not choose your time, the jury does. So it goes deeper than just us, because there were different races of people on the jury, and they felt the need to only give her 10 years. So it's like, you have to think of what it is. You trying to say people would just change their mind on something that's been drilled into their heads, shit, at this point for 500 years. That black is bad, or a certain person is bad, or the stereotypical way of saying that somebody black is going to be. They'll be like, if some kind of way it's a bad person that had it coming, or something like that, and you feel like just because it's white it's right, or it's pure, or it could be innocent because it is white, or they're not capable of doing evil things. When you have that, you're showing over through history that the white race has done many evil things that are flat out evil with no explanation. And it's more or less, it's drilled into people's head, and even us as a people, I notice, do it. And a lot of it is based on, I tell people all the time, I catch people doing this all the time. It's slave mentality. You know, like I watch people do it all the time. Like say for instance, if you see something come up missing and there's 3 black people in the room and there's 2 white people, and the first thing that people start looking at without them realizing is the black folks, especially if they're black and they're young. Automatically, even black people do it, because it's the slave mentality of built into your brain that black is some kind of bad thing and white is some kind of good thing. Like they're incapable of it just because they're white. And I watch it and see it all the time. Just like I've had jobs in the past, right, where I listen to people, like they try to put like the white person into a disciplinary function. Like they'll say stuff like say for instance, whatever the white person name is, they'll be like, oh, if so-and-so find out he gonna do this and that at a job. You know what I'm saying? Black people do it too. Be honest, they the most people that do it. And this shit drive me crazy. I'm like, what the fuck that mean? Because you tell the white man that, you know, something is wrong, I'm supposed to show fear some type of way. That's why people have a real hard time either understanding me or getting a feel for me. Because I don't show fear. You know what I'm saying? I don't show that fear because it's just not, I don't know what the fuck happened, but some reason it didn't get into me. It didn't get into me. I don't look at you because you're white is something I'm supposed to be afraid of. I never have. You know what I'm saying? But I watch people do it all the time, even right now, today, here. And that's how they talk when they talk. They use that name as an authority figure to like put you in fear some kind of way. Like I had a real conversation with people recently about the same type of situation or things like that. And I told them this: the wrong way to approach me to get me to do something is to try to use fear. Because now I'm going to view you as something that I got to prove to you. There's no reason for me to be afraid of you. Because anything that can bleed, I'm not scared of. You feel what I'm saying? Now, that's true to heart. Now, maybe I'm I don't know. I'm from a different breed. I don't know. I think I'm from a different breed. But I have watched people older than me, younger than me, exhibit that same fucking behavior. Because they'll use it as a person. And people that are me. They're black people. And they exhibit that behavior, that slave mentality of saying like it's white is right. Or using it as a disciplinary action as something to get somebody to do something for you, saying that this one particular person said that. Or showing that they are afraid or fear of that person. Or a person that, like, say they're in a powerful position, a black person in a powerful position, I've watched them, like, to other black people be like, you know, like this big beast of a person.